Good morning. It is a beautiful spring day out here. It is sunny and warm and gorgeous outside. And give me one moment. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, Jesus. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome. Have a good day. All right, so anyway, good morning. Again, I got interrupted a little bit there. When I see somebody in need, I just, I walked out my building this morning and I'm looking at this beautiful spring day. And if you remember my videos from the winter time, I did a video along the riverfront here in the winter and it was so dead. Everything was just brown and gray and dead. And now if you can see behind my window, everything is green. I mean, it's only been 8 weeks. In 8 weeks' time, everything goes from completely dead to amazingly beautiful. The sun is shining. The trees are all sprouted with beautiful green leaves. They're getting really full. It's not as full as they get. In the summertime, June, July, after it's rained several times and there's been lots of sunshine, oh yeah, it'll get a lot nicer than this, but it's just absolutely amazing out here. And I walked outside my building and I said to myself, I am just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. I just looking around, and the first thing that came to my mind when I said I'm so grateful was that I have a job. I don't just have a job, I have a good job. I have a wonderful team that I work with. I have a wonderful manager. When I got here last year, I was hired by a wonderful manager. He's not with us at the office anymore. And it was quite a blow. It was quite a shock whenever he was suddenly gone. And it's like my whole world got rattled. And I learned lessons in life, I learn. And one of the things that I learned is that things change. Things don't always go my way. He landed in a good place, by the way. I've been in communication with him, and I was concerned about him, but he's doing fine. And, the lesson that I learned is, yes, it shook me. And yes, having him leave was like a snow globe being shaken, and everything rattled, and everything that I knew here at this company was just different now. And I didn't know what was going to happen. And I took that and I just sat with it. I didn't fight or flight. I think it's probably one of the first times in my life I didn't do the fight or flight response. I just sat with what it was. It was winter. It was dreary. Everything was dreary and ugly and foggy. And if you remember my other videos, when it's winter here, especially like January, February, it can be really, really dreary, depressing. And I could have let myself sink into all kinds of thoughts. I could have had thoughts like, what am I going to do now? Or what is going to happen with him? I was concerned for him. I was concerned for everyone. Because things got shaken. And I just remembered that, what was the last time? I went back and I thought, what was the last time my whole life got shaken up, and how did I respond, and how did that work? If things get shaken up and it rattles me, does it help to just flee? Not usually, because I usually land somewhere that I don't really want to be. I just blindly run and end up somewhere, and I look around and I say, what have I done? The fight or flight thing, it almost makes me feel like I want to panic and take some action. Something's got to be done. I'm going to fight against this, or I'm going to run away from it. And I did neither this time, because I've learned hard lessons in life. When things get rattled, just sit with it. Calm down. Look around. Just continue the routine. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change a thing. My work production didn't slip. In fact, I think I threw myself even more into my work. I didn't allow myself to get an attitude, a bad attitude. I didn't allow my attitude to change toward anyone or anything, or life in general, or the circumstances, the company, myself, or others. I did not allow any bad attitude to infiltrate my thoughts, although they wanted to. I just want to say, bad attitude was knocking at my door when that happened. And not only bad attitude, but just overall, I don't want to call it depression, because depression is a clinical thing. I mean, it can be situational, but I should just say sadness. I didn't allow the sadness to just take me over. When I drove into work and it was slushy and mushy and icy and nasty outside, I think you might remember a few weeks back one of my videos, and I said, I drove in the snow. I was so proud of myself. But I continued to look at life in wonder. And I do believe that that is key. No matter what happens in life, no matter what happens, continue to look at life in wonder. I just stayed. And I just, like I said, I did my routine. I went to work. I enjoyed the people I was with. Did I allow myself to grieve the loss of the manager that I really, really loved and cared about, who was a big part of my life there? I sure did. I allowed myself to feel everything. The highs, the lows, the good, the bad, the ups, the downs. I allowed myself to feel all of it. I acknowledged it. And I said, yes, I get it. This is sad. But is it going to shape me? Is it going to define me? Am I going to let this destroy my perception? And I think that's the key when a lot of people talk about manifesting, or again, Jesus taught this with our thoughts, taking every thought captive to the obedience of Christ. Am I going to let these thoughts define me, destroy me? Destroy my perception of this experience that I'm in. And that I believe is key. You know, a good part of this whole entire year, my videos were nothing but cheerful, cheerful, cheerful. How wonderful it is that I found this job and everything just opened up and everything was just looked like it's just wide open in support of me, and there was not one single thing happened that I could say I didn't like. I mean, for almost an entire year, I was just living in wonderland here, and everything was going my way. Everything was going wonderfully, beautifully. All the people, everything. Just, it was almost unreal how perfect my life was for such a long time. And then, like a missile came in, bam, like something just came in and blew up the whole thing all at once in one day. It was just like, whoa. And I was getting used to that. You know, I was getting used to being just living in all this joy and wonder and everything going right. And then that one person who I relied on, trusted, really, really love and care about, had a great relationship with, a great working relationship, and a great personal relationship. We had developed a personal relationship over the year. And when I say that, I mean that in a absolutely friendship. Just a human to human connection that went above and beyond manager. It went, there was a heart connection, not just with that particular manager, with the entire team and the entire company and even the upper management. There was just this heart connection. And when he suddenly was just gone one day, everything was just like, it just came to a screeching halt. And I looked around, and all of a sudden it's almost like that connection it wasn't severed, but it was like it was threatening to be severed. Like all of that, it's almost like the veil came down and wait a minute, is this really the life that you thought it was? Is this really the joy that you were experiencing? Or is this really a dark world just, that was hiding behind this curtain this whole time? Now the curtain has moved and you can see all the darkness behind the joy. I mean, it was really, really weird how my whole entire perception of everything just kind of went, whoa, hold on a second. What is this? Is this really joy? But instead of letting that freak me out, I worked through it. I lived through it. I just kept living through it. My videos from late January, the last day in January, into February, and on into the spring, I'm talking about a lot of different subjects. I started out about talking about when life doesn't go your way. I let that out in my videos, but I didn't let it consume me. I talked about it, I shared it, but I didn't go really deep into how I was feeling because I wanted to wait until now. I wanted to wait until after the dust had settled, after it had all cleared up. I wanted to wait until a moment like today to share what I had been going through. And I have to say that from winter to spring, the lesson that I learned is to sit in it. Just sit calmly in it. Acknowledge it, acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the tears, acknowledge that things don't look maybe the way that they did. Just acknowledge it. Just keep walking. Just keep walking in gratitude. Find things to be grateful for. I always say that. And if I'm going to preach it, I'm going to have to practice it. I'm not going to be talking about it on my videos and not practicing it myself. Practice what you preach. So that's what I did. And here I am. It's almost May, so when I got hired with this company, it was April of last year. I think my first full month was April last year here. And my first full month of my new position in this company was April. And the leaves are out. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see the green leaves over off to that side of me. Spring is here. Everything is green. Right now it's sunny and everything is just beautiful. Now I know that we can have rainy days in the spring. Yes, we do. But when it rains in the spring and the summer, it's not like the same. It's not winter drear. It's not cold and wind blowing and everything's just brown and and gray. When it rains in the spring and summer and fall, from here on out, if it rains, it's going to be like poof clouds in the sky, thunderstorms. I love thunderstorms. I mean, I like the spring and summer rain, and even the fall rain. So yeah, I mean, we've got 9 months of of bliss ahead. But getting through it and being grateful through the tough times is really it. I have to say, in hindsight, now I'm in hindsight, and I highly recommend being grateful for everything you have, whether you are going through rough waters or whether you're going through joy. It's easy to be grateful when we're going through joy. There were other things going on at the time, things with my mom, things with my son. There were other family things going on at the time when my manager left, and there were so many things going on at once. We're getting my mom into a home now that she's really, really, really going to be happy with. We were so concerned that, we had to move her into a different home. She went to assisted living, and she's fallen several times. She's a fall risk now, and she, I'm just going to say it, nearly lost her life back in February. We went on an emergency run to see her. It wasn't looking good, but she's recovered from that, except that she is 93. She's almost 94. And I do feel very, very, very blessed to still have her in my life. But we went through some things with her, you know, and that's ongoing. She's going into a home where she'll have more care, and that's necessary. And my sister found a place that's going to be wonderful. My mom's going to love it, and that's a relief. But we were going through these things. I mean, the last several weeks we've been going through these things, and all through it, I just kept focusing on my job and doing a good job and being grateful for what I have. And when I walked out today, I just said, I am so grateful for my job. I am so grateful for life. I am so grateful that it's beautiful and sunny. The wind is blowing and just a little breeze, and it's not humid. And it's just a gorgeous day, beautiful, beautiful spring day. Just so grateful. And really exceptionally grateful for what I have in this job, because I do remember a time. One thing that I know is to never forget the times when you didn't have. It can be, gratitude comes so much easier when you remember when you didn't have what you have now. And I remember it was a little more than a year ago when I didn't have anything. And then I got this job, and it's like this job brought me into where I am now, into the ability to live downtown, to take these pictures, and to be able to live the life that I'm living now. And this job provides that for me, and I'm so very grateful. Now I have a new team, a new manager who I equally love, who, you know, everything is coming back together. It's almost like it all just kind of went to pot, and then all started to come back together. But I think that's how life goes. So if you didn't notice, I didn't want to say, you know, at the time out loud when it was happening, but if you didn't notice, there was an unhoused person standing out there in the street. When I first started this video, I was going to say, please like and subscribe, please share my channel, please comment whether you agree with me or not. I was getting ready to say that when I saw him walking toward my car, looking. Nobody was putting their window down. Nobody was acknowledging him. He was a new person. He was somebody that I hadn't seen out there, but he looked sad and dejected, and like nobody's giving anything. Everybody was just ignoring him. I could see the look on his face, like, oh, man, wow. You know, I almost could feel him looking around saying, is this the world? Really? Is this life? Is this what it is? I could feel that. And so I just reached and grabbed something, put my window down. And, you know, I'm not saying this to, like my dad used to say, don't toot your own horn. I'm not saying this to brag about what I did, that to show everybody what I did, but it all comes together with the gratitude. You know, if I have a great job that pays my bills, that allows me to live a life that I want to, and I have everything is going well for me in my life, and things are coming together, and all is well with my soul, and this person is unhoused. People have their own judgments about the unhoused, but I personally, I'm not going to go into it. I don't have enough time. We'll do that another time. But I love them. I've talked to them. I talk to them often. I sit with them. I hear their stories, and I care about them. And this person was being passed by every single car. And I just said to myself, I'm not going to be that one. I'm not going to be that person that passes them by. And I just gave him a little something. And he was just, you know, I have a job. I get paid every single other week. I get bonuses here at work. He's waiting for somebody to be kind. So who am I? Who am I to not share the blessings that I have? Anyway, I've got to get into the office. I could sit here and talk to you about this all day. It's another subject, but I hope you're all having a great day, and I will see you next time.